task is expecting an incredibly one-sided affair this time around. However, Excel has already upset the odds once this season by taking down PSG. Lawler, it's a big task, but can they at least make Gale Force sweat?
I mean, they've been able to show us that capability before. It just really comes down to, in my opinion, Marky Duda. We've seen plenty of times that Niels Cook is the one to put the shots on net. He needs help in that midfield. The difficulty, though, is Gale Force is a team that shuts down that midfield really well, a lot of it being led by Turbo Pulsa. He turns on those challenges, breaks rotation, and it applies this insane amount of pressure, and they're just not going to get that kind of space. So someone is going to need to help up while they're under that pressure themselves.
Absolutely. It's been a very tough previous 6 months for Excel. After having such a good league play back in Season 4, they have struggled not only in promotion tournaments, but they've struggled in DreamHacks, they've struggled in Gfinity Elite Series. Ever since then, they are negative 34 on goal difference.
Ouch.
After having such a good period of time. To put that into context, Gale Force is plus 117.
I mean, they are the best.
They absolutely are, and that has been the major question this season about who can step up to Gale Force. Who will be the team that can take on our reigning world champions? But it is Excel's turn to step up to the plate and see what they can do. Starting ourselves off here, as we always do, on DFH Stadium. It'll be interesting to see just how Niels Cook and Marky Duda going to look to try and play together here, because they've often been a little bit disjointed at times, as both of them continue to try and force pressure, and that is going to be an early goal for Turbo Pulsar.
Really well done starting off. Again, though, the mistake by Marky Duda. He tries to play that up into himself, but he basically just cherry picks it to his, I guess, other team, making it an easy self-pass up and over. Just quick down and in.
So 1-0 immediately for Gale Force eSports. Violent Panda up on the wall. Got options all the way back, but the ball is forced away from Pondex. It's Turbo Pulsar off the backboard. K-Dop already up, should beat Niels Cook. Turbo Pulsar tries to put it straight down, but it's onto the hood of Pondex. He wants to try and push it away. Marky Duda now waits for the ball. K-Dop, shots on target. Is anyone going to be able to get there in time? Yes, Pondex. Just about able to keep his team away from being 2-0 down. But right now, we've only come towards the end of the opening minute, and Excel have finally got the ball out of their half. And it was only a momentary reprieve because immediately pushed back. Pondex looking for the negative angle. There's not going to be any follow-up. Excel not ready to continue on with the offensive. Pondex wants to try and drop down. The lack of execution there is actually completely thrown off Gale Force, and Excel can turn it in, tying us up.
Big mistake with 2 committing here. You saw K-Dop just flipping around, and Turbo Pulsar tries to come in and help out. Just makes K-Dop look confused as that ball lands right in the middle of the net. Easy shot for this Excel team. That's what they need, though. They need everybody involved up on that top side. They need to make sure they rotate back on defense in case a counterattack happens.
Excel have not had much offensive opportunities so far, but made the most of their one and only thus far. Violent Panda, he's got K-Dop to aim for. Wants to keep this going. Gale Force usually very strong on the rotation. Off the backboard, Turbo Pulsar can't quite get there in time. Marky Duda has the ball on top of him. Pondex tries to push it straight past. Excel looking to try and gain territory and then work the ball immediately afterwards. Ball plays to the far side, but there will be no follow-up. Marky Duda tries to keep this going. K-Dop, he might have options, but instead tries to play it long. Turbo Pulsar beats out the oncoming challenge. Now K-Dop wants to take the shot, can't quite turn it in. And Pondex doing such a great job. He avoids the demo attempt and still gets the save, and Excel, they can clear away. Now Turbo, immediately back over, Gale Force. Always transitioning, always on offense, always looking for that second goal, and they will find it.
So dangerous, everybody on this field for Gale Force. Just able to put a shot on net, be dangerous from any perspective. Difficult situation for that defender as well, with Turbo coming across. Just catches him off guard, but it doesn't matter. That low clear, just not far off enough out. Easily put right back in.
And the question that we won't be able to know until we be able to take a look at the VODs was, Niels Cook, he looked to try and go for a right-hand jump after the potential challenge came in, so he either thought to himself, okay, either A, I need to clear this, or B, there's a guy right there, I might have to try and go for a block. definitely did not help his attempts at a clear. Violent Panda can't quite get there in time. Ponex still trying to clear away. Niels Cook looking for Violent Panda. They need to try and get these passing plays to work because otherwise K-Dop can do damage off screen. 3 goals to 1. Excel find themselves 2 goals down, and Turbo Pulsar will happily find his teammate. Able to turn that one straight in. 2 minutes remaining now. 2 goals is the difference. Excel have already managed to find the goal once. They need to try and find some of the offensive shooters, but so far, the role has come down to Ponex and just asking, can you get past one of the best rotations in Rocket League by yourself? Need to offer him some more options in terms of where he can pass to, because right now they are too central. No one is on the walls. No one is available to him. Marky Dollar looking for a big block up against K-Dop. Niels Cook back over to the side. Violent Panda now playing it off the wall, making use of the whip. Now he's going to go aiming for goalkeepers, but Marky Dollar able to avoid. It's Turbo Pulsar back over to the corner. Gale Force happy to just control the pace right now. They recognize that Excel have been happy to just wait around. Marky Dollar will turn it into his own net.
Just
so
not
difficult to deal with.
Ready for that ball down. Such a difficult angle to read as well. As soon as that shoots straight down, it catches him off guard. He does the right thing though. He tries to pop it back up above that backboard to give his team some time, but it doesn't matter. This offense from Gale Force, so dangerous from everywhere on the pitch, even if there is no follow-up.
So weird, but that has become one of the biggest plays you can make this season. Just catching that arc at the very top and making it drop straight down. So hard for any defender to work with because you have to be coming in either from the side on the wall or you have to already be in net. It's very much a situation of, are you in the position before the play is made? Violent Panda wins the challenge, but Niels Cook will finally clear. 3 goals is the difference. Can it be 2? No, Turbo Pulsar there in time.
Great transition down to the other side of the field. It's just a matter of Excel being able to maintain it. That has been their difficulty this entire season so far.
K-Dop wants the block. We'll just get a little piece of it. Now 30 seconds remaining. Excel starting to find more of the ball. Now can they find the net? Just not quite able to do so as K-Dop once again. There is no intent here from Gale Force to put another goal on the net. Just keep the ball away, and that could have almost been caught. Niels Cook wants to think about this, but K-Dop, another booming clear.
You can see it out of Violent Panda, just as you mentioned. No real intent to put it on net. As soon as that ball is relieved, immediately rotates back to defense. They don't want to allow any way back into this game, but it doesn't matter. He's in the right spot and puts another one in the last seconds.
Violent Panda just goes in shoulder first to try and get this goal. Niels Cook find himself pretty lucky that he even got a save to start with, just sort of landed on the ball. But as soon as Gale Force knew they had the win in the bag, they looked for yet another one. I believe it was Gibbs that predicted 15 goals on average. That's looking pretty good right now as Gale Force take game number 1.
On pace for that 15 goal set by Gibbs, but pretty textbook from Gale Force. Just a lot of pressure, nothing really new from them. As for Excel, the couple times that they did have pressure, it was a quick transition downfield, everybody involved, and that's been kind of the one I'm looking for this entire series. I want to see how Ponex steps up. Right now he's at the top of the leaderboard, making a ton of saves. Needs to transition that into offense as well. Yeah,
I feel like Ponex is definitely in a position right now. I think he's delivering upon what his role is. He needs better options from his teammates. Excel right now are getting stuck into the trap of leaving everyone back, only relying on their back 2 boosts. What I would like to see from them is have someone challenge, not even with the intent of winning, but challenge, you're already outfield, and nab one of the middle boosts.
Right.
Go from there, up to the wall, you're now a target. Ponex has got more options available to him, rather than him just going, I've got the ball, both my teammates are left and right of me, I can't really use them.
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially when you're pretty much suffocated to just only that back half. Even with the small boost pads in the middle, like the pressure that is going to come in, just the amount of space that this Gale Force team has to work with when you're in that kind of scenario, you're basically just pigeonholing you to the very distinct of, okay, play it into the wall, which they're probably going to be pressuring anyway, or hit it in the middle of the field. You saw Marky do that at the very beginning when he just popped it up to a teammate, trying to set himself up, but it's just, there's not enough there. You need to use your teammates in those scenarios, and if it's super telegraphed, Gale Force is going to shut it down every single time.
Absolutely. Right now, they are asking of Ponex to beat 2 or maybe 3 players in either dribbles or challenges. Just, it's unlikely when you say it. It's even more unlikely if you were to try and see it. Excel have got options, but whether or not they're going to be able to take advantage of those options will be key to the rest of this series.
Turbopolsa plays that all the way into the midfield over to K-Dop. Fortunately cannot get the touch. This is Excel's chance. They have the capability to bring this down. That's the contest Shogun was talking about in that midfield. Just trying to snag one of those middle boosts, but immediately turned around and put into the back of the net. K-Dop, easy goal for him and set up. Just a matter of applying that pressure in the midfield again. A pop over the top and then immediate touch afterwards. Marky needs to come out and challenge that sooner to apply that pressure. Just so difficult against this Gale Force team. Only 30 seconds in, Gale Force back on top. As Excel tries to win this kickoff, a pinch off the wall over by Marky, met easily by Violent Panda, who should be able to get another touch. Ends up settling in the middle of the field. This should allow Excel to get a demo. Niels Cook trying to push in. We got 2 committing, but that's going to go back to the other side. Can Turbopolsa get to it? No. An opportunity missed out.
Violent Panda plays the ball long. He's got Marky Duda on the backboard. Touch from Marky isn't actually too good. And that's going to allow Gale Force to continue the offensive pressure. Gale Force not naturally a team that would end up taking their foot off the gas until they have 2 or 3 goals up. That's going to be the second one. K-Dop, he's having a scoring frenzy this series.
Just so clean. Turbopolsa just playing that off the backboard, stereotypical stuff, but you look how Pondex challenges that off that back corner. He tries to cover the middle of the net, but it also covers it cuts out Marky's angle that he's approaching on that ball. Either way, 2 committing on that. One should be in net, either rotating, or one should be challenging preemptively. The difficulty that creates for both of those players.
Still plenty of time remaining in this matchup. Marky takes it away from Niels Cook. That's both those players committed, and the tap down there from Pondex won't be enough as Gale Force able to take control of the ball. Turbopolsa will be the target here. Managed to get it through. Marky Duda found himself too far forward. With another long clear happening, but once again, they just can't find one another. I'm almost begging at this point that Excel take a player up on the wall because infield is not going to work.
A lot of it has to do with just how close they're shadowing each other. You look how much Niels Cook is following exactly what that player in front of him is doing. Although it does allow for a quicker challenge, it completely removes the ability if it goes awry. They need to make sure that they give each other a little bit more space so they can react to it, as Niels Cook almost squeaks one in there.
Finally managed to come out big on a challenge, but they weren't able to turn it in. Marky Duda keeping the pressure on. Niels Cook, when's he going to move forward? He gets beat by Turbopolsa due to the hesitation. Now K-Dop looking to try and go over the top. Gale Force want their third. And despite how much time is remaining, you'd have to believe that maybe a third goal would be the end of this game as well. Niels Cook, his shot is incredibly saved, but Pondex will follow up. Oh, sometimes, even when you do get incredible saves, they can still rip your heart right out.
I mean, it's actually part of the play style that Gale Force is doing on purpose. They are applying so much pressure with those front 2 and leaving Violent Panda back because they trust him to make saves like that. It's just a matter of this Excel team. They need to recognize what the opportunities are there. Put on that pressure. Go for those bumps that they've been doing a couple times. It's the only way you're going to get past this Gale Force defense.
So now 1 goal separates. Violent Panda looking for the infield. No one really there for him to aim for. So instead, Pondex is going to try and find Niels Cook instead.
Another demo attempt.
Pondex off the backboard. There is going to be no follow-up there. Gale Force taking advantage of the lack of commitment from Excel. They are on the offensive, looking to try and re-establish their 2-goal lead. K-Dop waiting all the way back for Niels Cook. Especially after we saw Niels Cook taking the early jump, he knew he had all the control.
Gale Force playing this really smart. They recognize that even if they give up this midfield of Excel, they haven't been able to maintain that pressure. So why bother? Let them draw them in, bring them down onto the offensive side, and then transition with power.
Excel need multiple challenge wins right now if they want to try and open up Gale Force's defense. When they've got everyone back, K-Dop almost managed to block that one straight in. Violent Panda, he can go for the double tap, but the angle will not settle for him. We remain at 2-1. 90 seconds remaining here. And Excel find themselves stuck back in the orange side as they have for the majority of this series. Niels Cook straight over to Marky, who gets called off. I feel like there was better options there, especially if Marky could get to the ball. They could have got his Pondex, but now, ball bouncing off the crossbar. And now with a minute remaining, it's suddenly Excel's opportunity to try and test this Gale Force defense. But once again, they just can't keep the rotation strong enough to really trap Gale Force for all that long.
No, it just seems to be a positioning issue.
And there is K-Dop yet again. Going to turn that one in. 3 goals to 1, and now with 50 seconds remaining, Excel have got a mountain to climb.
You even see it from Marky. He recognizes in that midfield, I can't make that challenge. Immediately rotates back, but still a little bit hesitant. Not sure what it is. It's almost as if it was a little bit too late. He saw his teammate go backwards into net, when in reality, he should take control of that situation. Go up on the wall, play off that backboard, cut off that angle altogether. Because at this point, they need someone to just commit to it.
Turbo Pulsar straight over to Violent Panda. Just so close Gale Force are when they go for the shadow, but ever so often it does work out.
Not an easy thing to recreate.
Absolutely isn't. These guys have been playing with each other for so long at this point, especially when we come into Rocket League years, which are like 8 times longer than
it's like dog years, but different and somehow.
Absolutely. Niels Cook wants to try and take the challenge, but with time ticking away, Gale Force are up to put themselves onto match point. And if Gale Force were to take this series, they would be on 12 straight RLCS wins in a row. That is the most in history. Just waiting for the ball to touch the floor. Niels Cook wants to try and grab one more for Excel. Can't quite force it through, but Marky Duda turns this to a much more respectable scoreline.
Now with Excel, obviously we talk about them and how many of us expect them, despite that PSG upset, to be towards the bottom. But this Gale Force team, I love how they're not leaving it to chance. They're showing the respect that the other team deserves. They're putting on the pressure. Because in all reality for Gale Force, it is technically a must-win. You know, potential upsets with the way that tiebreakers work. Getting these kind of wins over teams like this that are pretty much supposed to be a guarantee for them just helps them in that head-to-head tiebreaker scenario down the road.
Yeah, now the good thing so far for Gale Force has been that the majority of their regional competitors have been just taking each other out almost. Only Vitality is unscathed thus far. But when it comes to matches like this, they know Excel still has that potential. And right now, I believe that Excel is not playing up to their potential right now, where they can be doing that a little bit more. Now, yes, Gale Force does have that usual ability of just going, yeah, you guys are good, but we're going to make you look a lot worse than you actually are. But even then, Excel, it's all down to boost control for me right now. They are using so much to achieve so little right now, when they can just start to take their time a little bit, not try and challenge everything, and when they get control of the ball, they're not being challenged until they hit the midfield. They've got time to get players out.
Right. A lot of that has to do, okay, originally it was this insane amount of pressure that this Gale Force team was applying. Ended up being where they were allowed to transition downfield, but instead of using that time like you're talking about, you know, picking up that boost, going for a dribble, you know, possibly drawing somebody out that's just sitting there waiting for that challenge to happen, they're just throwing away possession. They're forcing it into the corner, being very, very, you know, telegraphed, very textbook in their approach. When in reality, what they should be doing is exactly like you mentioned. Slow down in the midfield, go for a flick, try to draw somebody out, do something different than just hit the ball towards the net. And that's always, I think, been Marky's difficulty, is he's always been a very direct approach in his play style. He's always gone straight driven for the net.
Absolutely. I believe that's kind of a difficulty when you do put Marky Duda and Niels Cook together. Right. Two teams that very much known for one-touch plays right now. It's very much a player that would just sit back, wait for their opportunity, wait for someone else to do the work, and then they can come in with some incredible shooting. We're seeing very good examples of that. But it's been a case right now of this season of who is going to be the player that changes their play style? Who's going to adapt to the other one and allow the person to shine with their own play style? It's a question that Excel is still trying to answer at this point.
I found that interesting, too, because Marky did play a little bit more defensive, a little bit more supportive, instead of this leading attacker. I mean, he was the leading goal scorer for the longest time, still is, to my knowledge. And it's just one of those situations for him where he's having to change his style after so long. You know, obviously he's, you know, pretty close to you guys over in Europe with the aspect of how much he communicates with you. And you can tell he's definitely been grinding in the offseason. He's been a little bit more confident in his play. And it is showing. It's just a matter of, it's as if he still feels lost. You know, not everybody can do what Garrett does, where they just transition to a new role almost instantaneously for what he did for his team. So, like you said, they just got to find out that other person who's going to be that piece of the puzzle so Kondex can go back to doing whatever he's doing.
Kondex, usually known for being a very flashy style of play, has been forced to change that over previous series and previous seasons. Pulsar wants to just try and loft that one over the top, cause some panic for Pondex, who's forced to push the ball over into the corner. Once again, Excel taking their time, though, with the transition away. 2 players committed off the crossbar. Transition opportunity here for Excel, not taken, though. Just not ever in the right position to take advantage.
It just goes to show how much pressure they're under. Despite the ability to have all 3 commit from Gale Force, Pondex has to immediately throw that away, otherwise they're going to be in trouble.
K-Dop is going to take his time. Pushes it straight over to Violent Panda, who is awaiting in the corner. Really just slowing down the pace over and in front of the XL net, waiting to see if they can try and pull 2 players out for a double commit, which has happened just there. But Gale Force unable to set themselves up for a shooting opportunity. Marky up high, Pondex harassing K-Dop, who will take it in stride and just find the clear over to Violent Panda, and there's Gale Force out again. Excel just really struggle right now to shut down those passing lanes. Leaving someone in the correct position to get in front and keep the pressure going. K-Dop shot on target, nobody in net. Excel, the rotation just is not working right now.
Talk about controlling that midfield. The Violent Panda not only wins that challenge, but also shadows it all the way across. But that's good decision making from K-Dop. Before he commits to that shot, he just makes sure that, okay, there's no other repercussions that are going to happen from this. Let him fall out. Let me go and make this challenge. As for Pondex, he needs to get to that faster.
Absolutely. It just seemed like between him and Marky, neither of them were really able to figure out who was supposed to be going for it. And by that time, the shot was coming through. Marky Duda had always magnetized towards the ball. Pondex, still with the rest of his team, need to find themselves a goal if they want to have any chance of pushing this series any further. Well, 2 minutes gone now. There is 1 goal separating the 2 teams. Pondex wants to try and reach. Might be able to set this one up. Niels Cook looking for a big challenge win, but instead, that's almost the worst thing that could have happened to them. Ball lofting against the wall over into the corner. There is no chance for Excel to set anything up from there. But once again, more and more long clears from Excel. It seems like they're trying to find players in the middle. They're leaving players downfield. So at least me and you, Laura, we're going to get our wish on that one, but whether or not it's going to work out is going to be a different matter. Turbo Pulsar wants to try and get the tap down, but Marky Duda already on the backboard. K-Dop, he's got Violent Panda in support. Instead, he's going to take it round 2. Marky Duda by himself. Niels Cook, though, finally rotates back.
Able to hold him off, but that's what made Gale Force so difficult. Last week, it was the Turbo Pulsar show passes out to his teammates all day long, while Violent Panda was actually relatively quiet. This week, Violent Panda making every single clear. Touches inside, passes here and there, winning contests. Dangerous from every aspect of the pitch for this Gale Force team. #1 in the power rankings for a reason.
Turbo Pulsar. Negative angle from him. Just going to force a save out from Marky. That is more boost used as well on the side of Gale Force. Pondex forced just to power the ball away and see what he can do by himself, but it's not what you want when you are trailing. To go 1v3 on the defense is not exactly an advantageous position to be in. And Excel still struggling right now to put anything together that will really trouble Gale Force.
Just instinctive on that clear from Gale Force. K-Dop sweeps back around, goes straight to the wall. His teammate on defense, easy clear up to his teammate. Doesn't throw it down the middle of the field, just doing it with intent to pass it up. And then a shot attempt. Doesn't hit the back of the net, but immediately back on defense, all boosted up. Here it comes again.
Pondex can't get there in time, so it's going to be left to Marky Duda, who wants to try and launch long. There's 2 players on that backboard, though. Going to be Violent Panda, who is tasked with taking it downfield. Good challenge there, but K-Dop can take yet another shot. No follow-ups this far from Excel. Now, with a minute remaining, they still need to find a way past this defense. They want to try and force overtime. Niels Cook off the backboard, gets a second touch. There's going to open up for Pondex. That is exactly the style of play they needed.
A lot better. You talked about it at the very beginning. Might as well bring it up to the wall. Hopefully draw someone up with you. What happens? A Violent Panda is forced up, but then that last second touch from Niels Cook. The individual play to set up his teammates, taking matters into his own hands, passes it down beautifully past the defender, and ties it up. They have a chance here. 45 seconds left. Just need to come out aggressive.
If you are not going to go for a large amount of passing plays, then the individual needs to take the opponents by surprise. And he was able to do exactly that, although Excel once again struggling on the defense, and they've immediately, after all that work, have let it go, and Gale Force are back in the lead.
So difficult, and that's what's so difficult about playing Gale Force. All it takes is one. You can play perfect defense over and over and over again, but as soon as you make one mistake, they're gonna be there to punish you. And with 33 seconds left, Excel's gonna have to try to find it again.
Absolutely. All played over to the side. That's going to go off the post. That could have been the end of the series right there and then. Pondex off the backboard. Maki thinking better about trying to challenge against Turbo Pulsar. Instead, they're going to go all the way back and try and set up one more time. Back to the drawing board. This is going to be their final chance. Maki Dola needs to win here, but he hasn't got much from it. Pondex over to the middle, over to Niels Cook, although Violent Panda out early, recognizing the play, gets the block, and now once this ball hits the floor, as it will, Gale Force will extend their winning streak to 12 straight RLCS wins.